So we're able to answer the question here. Identify the IMFA present. So everything is present here in the first one. LDF, DPTP, and H bond. In the second one, it's just LDF. In the third one, it's just LDF. In the fourth one, it's LDF and dipole-dipole. And then here you're asked, predict which substances the following would have a stronger dipole-dipole forces. So PCl3 versus PCl5. So you have to look at the structure there. Okay, if I'm not mistaken, PCl5 would be what? Non-polar. Now the PCl3, you have to look. If it's polar, then that is a dipole-dipole. Okay, and then HF and CO. So you have to look at, we could say, the electronegativity difference. So the one that has the higher, what we call electronegative difference, that has the high polarity, and that has the higher dipole-dipole forces. Now Br2 and I2, we just have to look at the molecular weight. Okay, I2 is usually what? A solid. Br2 is a liquid. So the LDF is strong here. There's no dipole-dipole in both, letter C. So that's how you're going to answer the question there. We're going to follow what we call the university rules in terms of what we call the grade. I don't see anyone who is not really doing well unless you're not getting your quiz. I think that's one way for you to really have a bad score. But if you're going to look at trying to kita kasi yung pangalan niyo eh. So far, the one that has the lowest, we would say is around what, 32? But that include what we call there's even no diagnostic. Or maybe that's why you got a 32 because you have a 0/50 in diagnostic exam. The thing that you need to worry about is if you fail the exam. The quiz, you can always what we call make up for the other quizzes in the remaining chapter. Now, kung wala ang diagnostic exam, I cannot give you any more on that because that's just have what we call a time frame and it doesn't really have a score. But right now, yung score in the diagnostic exam, it has what we call effect on the overall grade. But as I have told you, when we tabulate the grade, we're going to remove the diagnostic exam. So diagnostic exam is not graded, but for now, it's included in your grading. Is that clear? Because what happened is at the end, I'm going to import everything, and then I'm going to what we call do the thing. The most important part that you have is you have scores. Because if there are blanks in your what we call quizzes, then that's we could say not good. The thing with the what we call diagnostic exam, okay, it's just giving us an idea on how much you know about the course at the beginning. And in the end, what will happen is if you learn something, you're going to be able to answer at the end of the semester most of the question in your diagnostic exam. Okay? Clear ba yun? I'm not worried as of now, but maybe after the first exam, so that's the one that you need to get worried. The rule that I have is you need to have a score that is higher than your age, or to be safe, higher than my age. I'm 46 years old, okay? So the passing grade, if you could remember, is 60. Now in the second one here, so you were asked, what's the difference between amorphous and the crystalline solids? So when we're talking about crystalline solids in my lecture, they are highly ordered arrangement, while the amorphous, they are not highly ordered, okay? And in terms of the type of the crystalline solid, Fe is what? Metal. Magnesium oxide is ionic solid. And then C12H22O11, that is molecular solid. So here you can ask to explain the difference between the solids and liquids in terms of IMFA. So you expect the IMFA to be strongest in the solid form. That's why you have a definite shape and a definite volume. Okay. Now, I don't know if you encounter what we call the cohesive and adhesive forces and how it affects the meniscus that you observe. Okay, why water is like this, okay, while the mercury is on the other end. Now, which is a higher surface tension here? So all you need to do is just look in terms of the structure. So I think the one that I have here in my lecture, if I'm not mistaken, has something to do with polarizability. So the one that has a higher surface tension here is the N-pentane compared to terpentane. Now here in the true or false question, these are all in the gas law. So that's the one that I think, if I'm not mistaken, chapter 5 of my lecture. Okay. So, first one is true, second one is false, because the collision of gas molecules are elastic. Average kinetic energy must be directly proportional to the absolute temperature. That's true. Okay, voice to state the volume and pressure of gas are directly proportional. That's false. They are indirectly proportional. That's it. Question. Are you ready for the exam? Nag-18.1 na ba? Nag-exam na sa 18.1?
Yes po.
So how's the result? Chicken ba? Sinong chicken? Yung exam o kayo? Anong result sa 18.1? I always ask my Filipino student, sinong chicken? Kayo o yung exam? Hindi ba nalabas agad yung result? Hindi ba sa ano siya? What's that called? Canvas? Or hinold muna nila yung result? Are you on the same 18.1? Or iba yung mga classmate nyo? Iba, I'm assuming iba-iba yung classmate nyo sa 18.1. You're not the same, right? Okay. Kasi yung iba, may result na iba, wala pa. Mahirap ba? O hindi kayo nag-aral? To tell you frankly, if you don't study, if you are a UP student, we always says that we never said that we have a difficult exam. We just say, oh, we didn't study. Whenever we didn't do well, okay? We never say it's a difficult exam. We just say we didn't study. Because if you don't study, okay, the exam will really be what we call difficult. Well, at least meron na kayong experience in taking the exam, so this might well be. So, hindi naman kayo proctor, di ba? But the thing is, you're going to be time, what we call pressured. So what can you say about the exam? Is that your first exam here at UPLB? I think before it's always, I think the lab exam is more difficult than what we call